Real quick, I totally forgot to bring this up. I'm lost without Gord.
My name is Jeff.
The Canadians in the Wuhan province were finally airlifted out. None of the Canadians airlifted out of the infected area showed signs of the coronavirus. None of them showed symptoms. So that's, you could chalk that up right into the no fucking shit file. I can't believe this is a news story. I know I've gone on and on about it every single fucking day. I don't understand where this is coming from, and I don't understand why it's making news when since January 28th, almost 4,000 people have died of Ebola. Why is that not news? Why are we not talking about that or doing something about that? Instead, we're talking about a bunch of 20,000 people with the sniffles, and 19,998 of them are still in fucking China, contained where they should be. I don't get why this is a story. I don't get why people are freaking out. I know my mom is going absolutely fucking banana hammock over this story. She thinks she's going to die, and I'm like, you're not going to die because you're not in Vancouver or Toronto, where the only fucking 4 people that have this goddamn thing are. And they basically have to sneeze in your mouth for you to catch this fucking thing. And even if you do, unless you got to be 95 and already have AIDS before this is going to make you sick. It's such a non-fucking story, and I don't get what's going on. The only thing that I can think of is they're trying to tank the Chinese economy with it. Like their oil markets have dropped like 20%, which is awesome because the Canadian government just invested some millions of dollars in the Chinese oil markets, thinking it was going to be a good ROE on a quick investment. No. ROE? Did I say ROI? Sorry. Quick ROI on a big investment? No. Nope. We just flushed that right down the fucking toilet. So, way to go. That's good. Like, I've always said my whole life I'm not going to qualify for CPP. I'm not going to get CPP. CPP won't exist when I'm old enough to collect it. I never really imagined myself being old enough to collect CPP or making it that long, but it looks like I might just get there. And when I do, it's not going to be there. Our governments are taking every effort they can to make sure that people my age are just fucking hooped. We're all going to have to work until we're 90, and that doesn't really fit into my schedule. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I don't plan on working till I'm 90. And before anyone makes any smart-ass remarks about how I'm not working right now, just screw yourselves. This goddamn podcast is a lot of work, so figure it out. I'm trying to do something a little different with my life. And besides, I'm fucking useless. Not that good at working anyway. This is basically the full extent of, like, physically what I'm capable of. I don't have a muscle from the neck down, and I'm not, what's the word? I'm not motivated or interested in doing anything anymore. I'm done. I want to retire at 42, which is not that far away. I got all this stuff, but I don't really want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it. Because a lot of this is stuff I want to talk about with Gord. A story Gord brought up, I believe it was last night. Gord and I were talking about train crashes that have happened this week and how convenient it is that the pipeline is just getting pushed harder and harder, and because there's all these fucking ridiculous train crashes. And Transportation Minister Marc Garneau, who is just a shining example of the kind of efficiency we can expect from the Canadian government, he's made an executive order that all trains carrying large quantities of dangerous goods have to slow down. That's his answer right there. If you got a shitload of dangerous explosive material on your train You're not allowed to go very fast. Now, I'm not sure if our transportation minister understands how like volatile materials work. Maybe if we could get a minister of fucking science or something to tell him how when sparks combine with oxygen and a fuel source, they create fire. It doesn't matter how fast your fucking train is going. If your tire sparks and catches the dangerous goods on fire, it doesn't matter how fast the train is going. It's still going to burn. I love the Canadian government. That is amazing to me. So trains, you can sleep easy tonight. Anyone who has a train going through your backyard, it's okay. It's all going to be okay because they're going to go slow from now on. Wow. That is just fucking...
Yes, science!
Yeah, right? We seriously need our big train company. I think there's still just the one. I think CN... is it CN that... Or CP is only in BC and CN is national, or the other way around, and I don't fucking know how they work. I know we only have the two, or maybe they're just the one now. I'm not even sure about that. But they need some regulation. I don't understand how we're still working on like handbrakes and fucking relying on these pothead fucking engineers to make the train stop. Why can't we just have some sort of braking system that doesn't fail? Something made in like the 21st century. I don't know how we're putting fucking rovers on Mars and we got supply ships going to the International Space Station and we're figuring out time travel and we can make a third fucking John Wick movie, but we can't come up with some way to make a train not blow up. That baffles me. And anyone who's anti-pipeline right now, Gord would tell you to go eat a fucking bullet because this train thing is obviously not working. And I don't even understand how we allow this to go on. That's the part about the Canadian government that I just don't get is how they could just turn such a blind eye to things that are so blatantly obvious. Whether they seriously don't care or it's got nothing to do with their pension plan, so they don't give a fuck. I don't get it. I would love to have a government official join Gord and I for a serious conversation. If there's anyone that works for the federal government who could speak to just some of the things that have gone on in, let's even just say Trudeau's second term. If someone would be willing to come on, we won't make fun of you. We won't bring up anything you don't want to talk about or anything. I just want to know how decisions like this come about, how we're not putting regulations in where we need them, how fucking, like Gord was saying, the parole board is just, you're bringing your goofy little brother to fucking work on the parole board. And it's just as long as you're in term, you get to appoint whoever the fuck you want to work on the parole board. And then they make decisions like this guy's got to get out because whacking it's not good enough for him. And then the next thing he does is go and kill a super hot sex worker. Those kind of decisions have to bug you at some point. Like when you're in the government, like I understand shitty people. I do. I get it. But like, how could you fucking sleep at night when you got this shit going on your watch? Like, What do you tell your grandkids when you're like, oh yeah, I used to work for Prime Minister Trudeau. I used to be, part of his government. I made these decisions that saw fucking trains blow cities off the face of the earth and guys, psycho murderers get out of jail. And a guy here in fucking BC just smoked a couple on the highway and killed a pregnant woman. She's only like married for... Her fiance lives. She's like just newlywed to this dude, and she's pregnant with his kid. They get run off the road, and she fucking dies. This dude does a month in jail. How do you live with yourself after this guy runs a car off the road and only gets a month for killing a pregnant woman? Like, how do you not just want to fucking kill yourself every day? It baffles me. I don't get it. And I don't understand how we as citizens keep electing the same fucking people who make these kind of decisions. How can we be okay with this? And then we're surprised that there's like crime in our neighborhoods. Well, guess what? Why wouldn't there be crime in our neighborhoods? What the fuck do we have to deter us from committing crime? Like maybe a month in jail, if we even go to jail, if the fucking court feels like, oh, maybe rushing enough to even get us a sentence before it's thrown out because it's a violation of their fucking rights for waiting too long for a trial. Why would we ever be deterred? There's nothing to scare us. And jail is such a cushy fucking thing. It's ridiculous. I wasn't kidding when I told this story. I don't even know when. Everything just looks like one big day in my fucking head. I don't know when things happen. But I told the story of the guy I know, and I actually know this guy. This is a legit thing, who is actively trying to get put in jail because he needs his teeth fixed. And in jail, he can have his teeth fixed for free. So he's trying to go. And that's trying to go. Like, it's actually hard to get thrown in jail if you want to. How fucked up is that? I don't get it. I don't understand.
Wrong.
That's right. It's
wrong.
I'm not going to talk about that fucking meathead tonight. If anyone knows, if you don't know who this is,
wrong.
I'm not talking about him tonight. I know Gord would probably like me to say something about him. I don't want to. I don't give a shit. I think it's just, they are such a train wreck south of us. And frankly, I'm happy to watch him just ruin that country, because the worst of the worst support him. And that's great. I would love to see him just destroy that country, and maybe they smarten up. I don't think they will. These fucking QAnon idiots and everyone else who's a Trump supporter, at least they all seem like the world would be a better place without most of them, 90% of them. I'm not on board with Gord's whole thing about wiping out 2/3 of the population, but definitely any Trump supporters who like legitimately support anything about that man, the world's better off without you. You could go on a couple of Elon Musk test flights. I certainly wouldn't mind. And I don't think a lot of people would. I think a lot of people are fed up. And I think the thing you got to watch out for is what is going to happen after Trump. It's a funny news story right now. It sure as fuck is giving Gord and I a lot to talk about. And I appreciate it on that level, but nobody seems to be thinking about in 4 years from now, at the maximum, what do you do with your train wreck of a Trumpster fire goddamn country in a post-Trump era? What do you do? You're just fucking stuck with all the decisions he's made. That is, I don't even know what to tell you. That is really just fucking sad for you guys. What else do I have? Did I talk about the stories behind the songs? Yeah, I did. Nobody has fake virus. This is going to go really, really fast. The train that fucking has to slow down your trains. That is amazing. Okay, I only have like one or two more things to talk about. I was gonna do a big speech about the easiest thing in the world. I'll do that in a little bit as well, probably. In the meantime, why don't I show you guys a clip of Gord and I talking? I believe this is in January. And it is, I don't think we talked about this on the air, but it was a story Gord wanted to bring to the episode, and I'm not sure if it made it. I know we didn't talk about it on the air. I'm almost positive, but it was a really funny story. It had me just howling today when I was looking for stuff to show you guys. So this is probably about a month ago, Gord and I talking about just an awesome story.
Dude, I cannot wait to read you something. I cannot wait. Like, I want to tell you what it is, but I'd rather surprise you with it.
All right. Well, we'll go in a second here.
This is amazing. Oh, can I'm going to just have to tell you first. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
In Des Moines,